Hi, this is Osman again. Welcome again to my videos. I'm a energy healer, yoga meditation teacher for several decades, and I create these videos to bring about my perspective and experience from my personal vast decades of experience to give you an insight into some of the practical aspects and benefits of utilizing yoga meditation as well as the art of energy healing. And today I want to discuss also peak performance and how to access peak performance using the power of energy healing, yoga, and meditation. So, peak performance is something that everyone strives for, and they always want to be better, to improve on their own performance and improve on their ability. So, everyone seems to have limitations and a certain ceiling in terms of um, how well they can perform and what results they could achieve. Invariably, most people bring about a consistent level of performance that does not vary much despite, trying extremely hard. So, from my experience, over decades of teaching as well as practicing yoga, meditation, as well as energy healing, there are various strategies in place that can dramatically improve and continuously improve on an ongoing basis so that your level of peak performance is not only improving but continues to improve to newer and newer levels as each year passes by, and month by month you will gradually improve. And the secret behind it is actually no secret. It just seems to be a secret because people no longer delve into the ancient sciences, and the ancient sciences does not get the exposure that other technologies and other systems get due to the funding behind most of the other systems that seems to overshadow that which is been long-standing and ancient. So also the lack of qualified teachers or experienced teachers. So this also is a problem because these sadly I've seen many people claim to be yoga teachers and energy healers. They say I'm a healer, I'm a yoga and meditation teacher, but they lack the foundational intense intense experience as well as practice, because to be able to come to a level to teach other people in these sciences is unlike academic courses. You cannot go and do a certification course and go to some university and say after 3 months or 6 months or a year or 2 or 3 years or even 5 years, and say now you have a certificate, because this science is a very wide and deep science. It has massive amount of theory that none of the current academic structures can compare. The volume of information that is available, and also most of the information is not in a physical accessible form. It is in a subtle level that you have to transcend to higher levels to be able to access this information, because um, it cannot translate or compute into regular methods due to the complexity of its nature. So I don't want to get into too many complications, but suffice to say that I've got a lot of experience in this field, and I have some ideas that may be of benefit to you that you can consider. So what you need to know is, when it comes to peak performance or improving one's performance, your biggest asset is your cognitive capacity, or your ability to have creative ideas, have an improved memory function and speed of thinking, as well as analytical processing capability and problem solving capability. So these generally are considered your holistic cognitive capacities, which goes much deeper than that as well. But just as a broad perspective, if these can be improved, then we would say that you have a massive tool that can be used to your advantage. So, in addition to this tool, you also need to have sound health, and you also need to have good energy levels, right? So you can have the best of cognitive capacities if your health is not sound, and if your energy levels are, not up to the mark or above the mark, right? To be in peak performance, your energy levels needs to be super, super, super high, right? Or you should be able to function on a peak level, for as long as required, much longer than the average person. So in today's lifestyle, it is common for people to work, 8 to 9 hours a day. And I've been an entrepreneur for several decades, and the one thing that I learned very early on, fortunately, because I wanted to know what is the simplest formula, the one thing that can set me apart despite my lack of knowledge at that time as an entrepreneur. And I asked another successful self-made entrepreneur, what would he consider the single most important factor for success, if he could mention. And he says that the average people working, 5 to 6 days a week, and they're working 8 hours a day, this is not possible to be successful. If you want to be successful, you have to work 13 to 16 hours a day, and you must be able to work 7 days a week, without any vacation, right? So of course you can take your break now and then, but generally, being self-employed, you can, relax when there is an opportunity to relax and rest or take some time off. But you must be able to continue, for months on end, or weeks and weeks upon weeks upon weeks, 7 days a week, 13 to 16 hours a day. And I had the opportunity to strive and work, for very long hours. There was a 6-month period that I was able to work. I would say for every 72 hours, I slept 2 hours. So this is, of course, is a very dangerous thing to do. And imagine a 6-month period, sleeping only 2 hours every 72 hours, which means work 70 hours, sleep 2 hours, and then work another 70 hours, and then sleep 2 hours. And this is, continuing endlessly for about 6 months. And of course, the body takes its toll. And that's what, over a long-term period, me consistently pushing my body to those levels, caused me to break down by the time I reached the age 50, right? But in my younger years, before I reached 50, I was able to proceed. And I didn't feel any problem because my energy levels were very high and I could perform very well. And I found no problem. I didn't feel tired, right? So once you activate the higher levels through yoga, meditation, and tapping into harnessing your subtle life force energy, then you have to also, be careful not to overwork, because your body is still a human body, and you must have 7 to 8 hours of sleep, right? So if you're having, let's say, 8 hours of rest, right, you still have 16 hours in the day, right? So in terms of the advice that I was given earlier, working 13 to 16 hours to be successful, I found that if one works above 16 hours in the long term, it is very dangerous for your health, and you could cause serious irreversible health conditions, right? or conditions that are very difficult to overcome easily. It's going to take a lot of effort. So with this caution in mind, I'm going to tell you some of the secrets of peak performance, and that is in firstly, as I mentioned, your cognitive capacity. By the practice of meditation, the correct form of meditation, you can very quickly transcend the regular, because everyone's regular frequency that they're operating on is the beta frequency, and the beta frequency is full of flaws and full of mistakes and full of lack of focus, lack of energy, fatigue, and stress. And it's actually something that I'm surprised the planet is operational with the majority, over 95% of the people, or even 99% of the people, operating on the beta level. So one needs to become more focused as a norm, more focused, calm, together, centered, and to be able to have and access this state of mind with the regular practice of yoga, especially the yoga postures. This is brought about very easily and quickly. And I've even created a 5-minute yoga meditation program, which if you go to my website, yogawellness786.com, you could download it for free to get started. And it will start working from day one, where you will start to access that alpha state and experience that feeling of centeredness, of calmness immediately after your first session. And as you practice it consistently, this state of alpha will start to envelop and develop throughout the major portion of your day, as time progresses. And you have to give it time to do that. But to fast forward this time period, so instead of taking 5 to 10 years to reach an efficient alpha state, you could get yourself boosted in a very short space of time using the access of energy healing or transference. So being an energy healer on a master level, I'm able to send you or transmit the energy to fast forward your progress, to bring you a level, I would say, about up to 10 to 15 years ahead. What would normally take you on your own practice 10 to 15 years to attain, I can do that in one session to up to about 48 sessions, depending on how serious you are. Ideally, if you want a very stable and permanent, consistent change, in your transformation to something very positive, centered, and balanced energy system that is conditioned, from head to toe completely, you have to follow the rules of natural healing protocols. In natural healing protocols, unlike pharmaceutical drugs bring about rapid change, in a very short space of time. But natural methods take time, and the average time it takes is around 7 weeks, or precisely according to the ancient knowledge, it says 48 days, right? So it's it's said that people want, I want something now and today. Yes, of course, I can give you something now and today, but compared to getting the complete course of 48 days of session, there's going to be a massive difference for the one who has got conditioning for 48 days and completely balanced all his energies, to someone who only spent one day. Of course, there will be some improvement, some balance, but the progress won't be as good as doing a full set. So different people have different time constraints, budget constraints, and they can do according to their capacity, access the energy, telepathic. I could even send the energy telepathically globally to any place in the world, and you experience the energy when I send it to you. You feel how balanced you feel. It is something you can physically feel immediately while I am doing it, right? And you can do it for 3 days, 10 days, 20 days, or follow my recommendation. I'm flexible. I'm not going to force people, to do things the way it should be done, and people wants to do things in a step-by-step manner and do things according to their own time available, which I have to respect as well. So you could access this that way. And then from the cognitive capacities, the alpha level is just the first level, how considered a higher frequency. But there are multiple higher frequency. Better than the alpha level is when one sit in meditation and start to go deep into meditation and a total relaxed, calm state, almost like a dream state, but you fully awake, right? This is called the theta state, and it is far more superior. You can get much better creative ideas, from this state than the alpha state. So, really complicated problems has been confounding you. You may come to a crossroads where you need to find some form of solution, how to solve a problem that you are coming across in your business or your life. When you can access the theta state, it's much easier to get or tap into your intuition and get the solution that is unique, right? Unique, something that does not come from your memory or from anywhere. That is, it can come from totally, brand new and a unique formula or unique idea that never existed in the world before, created by you through the higher frequency of, theta. And to go, as one practices and go deeper into meditation, and you attain the no thought state, right? The no thought state is a state of silence or non-experience. It is comparable to the deep sleep state where there is no dreaming, and it's completely like time out, lights out, power off mode, right? But you're awake, but you're not conscious. Your conscious mind is also completely shut down, right? And you are not, because you are sitting up and you are in your posture and meditating. This is the delta state. The delta state is where it is the creative state or the manifesting state. It can bend reality, so to speak. So, if you needed a miracle and you're in a position where only a miracle can help you, if you can access that state, you can materialize a miracle in your life. And to be able to go to the delta state takes a long-standing practice of meditation. Alternatively, with energy transference, we can develop you very quickly in a very short space of time, not taking 10-15 years, right? So, of course, higher than the delta frequency, the frequency much higher than that is the gamma frequency. The gamma frequency is said to be like the superhuman frequency, where you can consistently be in a state of awareness 24/7, in that state, being in a very creative and manifesting state. Anything that you need will start to manifest, or in one sense, I don't like to use the word manifest so loosely, because people think of Harry Houdini and the disappearing act, or David Copperfield, who suddenly can materialize something in front of your eyes and materialize $100 million or $100 billion instantly in front of you. No. So it is the capacity. You'll find that you can attain your goals, and suddenly things start to become easier towards attaining almost impossible goals. Yes, of course, it's going to take you time to attain those goals, but compared to the person who is on a beta level, your level, you can rest assured the chance of you attaining your goal is like 99%, and the chance of someone in beta level from attaining that same goal, assuming that it's a very difficult goal, is probably less than 1 in 100,000. Okay, so that's the difference. And from my personal experience in life, whichever goal that I had set before in my life, and I set very high goals, not as high as one would, I mean, people talk impossible things in the social media, right? I mean, I don't like to use the word impossible, because I believe very strongly whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it will achieve. But I like to set goals, step by step, so that I can progress from, because you have to identify where you are, right? And you want to not kill yourself in trying to attain something too far. You can aim the ultimate goal to be something very high, but make goals along the way, so that you're progressing towards that goal. Okay, so in that sense, I attained many goals. There were some goals that took me about 10 years to attain. Some goals took me, I would say, about, I think, I'm just trying to say, about close to 40 years to attain, right? And I set that goals, but I attained it. I was consistently, trying and not losing hope or losing. But along the way, there were many goals that I attained before I attained that ultimate goal, right? And some goals took me 9 years. Some goals, I attained very quickly. Depends on the type of goal. You have to have patience, and know what's involved, and have a blueprint for it, and have the statistics, around you, knowing what you're in for, right? So, for example, you want to run a 4-minute mile, for example, right? And you are out of shape. You are not someone who exercises regularly. You are, overweight. Fitness level is, highly questionable. So you're not going to be able to run the 4-minute mile, very soon, right? It's going to take you a lot of practice, dedication, improving your nutrition and consistency. And it's going to probably take you years before you reach the level of being able to break that 4-minute mile, target, right? As an example, right? But to do the mile in, 10 minutes or 7 minutes, and slowly, so you have to know where you're at, right? And slowly work on improving that, and notice incremental improvement every 7 weeks, right? And I use the 7-week formula, not the 90-day formula. And I calculate every 7 weeks, and then I calculate over a year period, and then I calculate in series of 7 years, right? And then 7 sets of 7 years in 49 years, approximately 50 years, right? So I use those calculation method based on ancient time calculation algorithms, on the ancient science, and calculate and track my progress that way. So, so it seems very complicated, to attain peak performance. It starts with the simple daily practice of just 5 minutes per day. Once you gain consistency of that, and you can get that practice for free, you can download it from our website, and then start seeing it's working for you, and then also connect with me. In my website is my contact details, yogawellness786.com, and you can feel free to connect with me and contact with me, and we can discuss. It's free to talk to me. Okay, I don't charge money to talk, or consultation fee, for discussions. If I have time and we make an appointment to have a discussion, we can have a nice, lengthy, long discussion, and discuss, how you could implement some strategies immediately, that you could start yourself on the road to improving your levels, and not remaining stuck on the level that you are in. Not only will your financial or professional life improve, your personal and social, as well as your health, health goals will start to improve as well. Okay, you'll have all round in together with your sense of being centered and feeling peace and feeling energy, and being in control of everything, and enjoying every day of your life. This is an amazing state to start transcending, to attain the alpha state, and to know that you can go into the theta state at a snap, of a finger, so to speak, So for me to, if I want to go into the theta state, I can sit. It takes me less than 5 seconds, right, to get into the theta state. And then to go into the delta state takes me about 2 minutes, right, to get into delta. And gamma, is a progression from the delta state, right? So gamma, unlike the other states, it is something that takes long-standing practice. They're not easily accessible, right? But it is an amazing level, an amazing state, and you have to. There are secrets on how to tap into that state when it comes to really extreme pressure and extreme stress or extremely complicated problem areas of your business, or a complication that comes in your life that you need to access. There are ways to access that, right? So I'm available to speak to you and discuss these things. But to make something, to answer your question, a very simple, the consistent practice starting from just 5 minutes a day is going to do wonders, is going to develop the magic inside you, because all the magic is inside you. You are alive, means you have life force energy, right? Your life force energy is operating in, let's say, power saver mode, so to speak. And you need to take it out of power saver mode and start increasing it incrementally. And the only tool that I know that has scientifically been formulated and successfully been applied for thousands of years and consistently works, if you learn from the right experienced professional teacher, is yoga and meditation. It's the yoga. So because we say the word yoga meditation, but meditation is part of yoga, right? Yoga encompasses a complete system, right? Not just the physical postures. It embraces knowledge in these sciences, which is very vast. It embraces ethical teachings. It embraces capacities and abilities in improving your mind's capabilities in different avenues of human possibilities, right? So I don't like to talk like Deepak Chopra using fancy words and complicated terminologies that are confounding a regular way of thinking. Just like we are designed for comedy, we are designed for art, we are designed for music, we are designed for drama and literature and creative expression. We are designed to appreciate a good taste, beautiful clothing, lovely perfumes, lovely sceneries, lovely architecture, successful successful ventures, and successful friendships, socially uplifting relationships, and fulfilling experiences on a daily basis. So all these things are different avenues that we learn is part of the yoga science, right? That one can deliberately learn in order to improve your capacities, so that your experience of life as a whole dramatically and exponentially is improved, by harnessing all these aspects of being, by developing them. So yoga practice, starting from as little as 5 minutes a day, it will start to develop these things according to how you want. Suddenly, if you had a passion for something, like you wanted to, get into maybe dancing, right? And you love dancing. With the practice of yoga and meditation, you'll find that you can, dancing will start to become easier and easier and more enjoyable. Or if you're a musician, your capability of being able to create better and more impactful music becomes better. Or if you're a writer, you'll be able to write better. If you want to create content, for some book that you are writing, you'll find that your creative capacity for that is improved. Or you want to build your relationships, amongst your friends and associates, you'll find that your relationships are becoming, much richer and better, and your experience of life overall improves. So this is peak performance, right? And you, of course, by the correct nutrition, right, eating the right diet, has a strong influence on your energy levels as well. Very strong influence, right? So we're not telling you to restrict your diet and completely change to some extreme diet, but try to live balanced. Have a holistic approach to your diet. Eat, yes, what you like, okay, but also eat what's good for you, right? Start including that which is good for you more and more, until the proportion of what is good for you starts to be greater than the parts that are bad for you, right? So following that, so I'm not going to go too deep into nutrition advice and so forth in this video. I'm just creating this video to give you an introduction to attaining peak performance, higher energy levels, and being able to manage stress and anxiety much better. When you are more successful, you have better money, you have better energies, you are more focused. Of course, stress will start to become more manageable, and if you put in the right nutrition, your body's capacity to heal itself is amazing, right? Especially with the tools of yoga, meditation. It is shown to help you to improve your capacity to fight back or better manage your physical condition or weaknesses of your physical condition. So I hope this video helps you. Feel free to connect with me. My contact is on my website, yogawellness786.com, and I look forward to talking to you soon.